Jurisdiction of which high courts covers the Union Territory of Lakshadweep. Kerala HC. Though, the Indian Parliament passed the States Reorganization Act in which year? 1956. Which case determined that the preamble is a part of the constitution? Keshwananda Bharati case. 4. How many times Indian constitution has been amended? Ek or ek? 5. Which committee was appointed by the Government of India in 1986 to revitalize Panchayati Raj institutions for democracy and development? LM. Singhvi Committee. 6. A national emergency on the grounds of security threat is proclaimed under which article? A. 352. 7. By which amendment Delhi was designated as National Capital Territory, 69th CAA? 8. In India, a three-tier panchayat is envisaged for states which have a population above 20 lakhs. No. Who presides over the joint sitting of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha? Speaker of Lok Sabha. Thus, on which date a separate Constituent Assembly was set up for Pakistan? 3 June 1947. 11. How many subjects are in the Union list? 97. 12. On which date Constitution of India was adopted and enacted by the Constituent Assembly? 26 November 1947. 13. What is the lowest stage of the local government? Gram Panchayat. 14. Who has been the only Lok Sabha speaker to have become the President of India? Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy. 15. Which constitutional article lays down qualification for becoming a voter? A. 326. 16. Who was the Defence Minister of India during the Indo-China War of 1962? V.K. Krishna Menon. 17. Which part of Constitution emphasizes the welfare aspect of the state? Directive Principles of State Policy. 18. Who was the Supreme Commander of India's Armed Forces? President of India. 19. When was All India Services Act enacted? 15 October 1951. 20. Once a budget has been presented in the Parliament, the government has to get all money bills related to the Union budget passed within 75 days. 21. After how many years is the President of USA is elected? 4 years. 22. Which has been the most amended is also the most controversial fundamental right? Right to property. Ace. What is the current age of retirement of judges from Supreme Courts and High Courts respectively in India? 65 years or 62 years. 24. In India, President is elected by which method? Single transferable vote. 25. Till now, the preamble of Constitution of India has been amended for how many times? Once. 26. Who was competent to dissolve the Rajya Sabha? No one. 27. Which were the first two states in India to establish a Panchayati Raj in 1956? Rajasthan or Andhra Pradesh? 28. Which writ examines the functioning of subordinate courts? Certiorari. 29. The concept of fundamental duty. 28. Which writ examines the functioning of subordinate courts? Certiorari. 29. The concept of fundamental duties of Indian Constitution was borrowed from which country? Russia, former USSR. 30. In the year 2006, which program was launched for the welfare of minorities? Prime Minister's new 15-point. 30. An additional judge of a high court holds office for a period of 2 years. 30. In which country did the concept of public interest litigation originated? United States. 30. Which was the first linguistic state? Andhra Pradesh. 40. Which writ is issued by the court in case of illegal detention of a person? Habeas corpus. 35. What is the total number of fundamental duties mentioned in the Constitution? 11. 36. All the cases regarding interpretation of the Constitution can be brought to the Supreme Court under its appellate jurisdiction. 37. The Supreme Court originally consisted of how many other judges besides the Chief Justice? 7. 38. Who works as the chairman of a zonal council in India? Home Minister. 39. From which fund is the pension of a High Court judge charged? Consolidated Fund of India. 40. Which commission was formed in 1983 to recommend the relationship and balance of power between state and central governments? Sarkaria Commission. 41. What minimum age is required to contest for presidentship? 35 years. 42. Who was current Chief Justice of India? Sharad Arvind Bobde. The present CJI is Justice Sharad Arvind Bobde, and is the 47th CJI since the 26th of January 1950, the year the Constitution came into effect and the Supreme Court came into being. 43. In which years did the Right to Information Act come into force? 2005. 44. From where can a Member of Parliament claim immunity? From civil cases only. 45. In India, administrative head of Union Territories is Lieutenant Governor. 46. Which was the only President of India who elected unopposed? Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy. Santalis. The inspiration of liberty, equality and fraternity was derived from which revolution? France. Artalis. What is the maximum number of elected members in a state assembly? 549. The Prime Minister of India who did not face the Union Parliament was Chaudhary. Charan Singh. 50. What is the electorate for a panchayat? Gram Sabha. 51. The first governor ever to be dismissed by the president was Prabhu Das Patwari. 53. Judicial review in the Indian Constitution is based on procedure established by law. 54. How long a person should have practiced in a high court to be eligible to be appointed as a judge of Supreme Court of India? 10 years. 55. What can be the maximum interval between two sessions of parliament? 6 months. 56. Shakti Sthal is related to whom? Indira Gandhi. 57. To whom does the Public Accounts Committee submit its report? Speaker of Lok Sabha. 58. Who was known as the first law officer of India? Sabha Attorney General of India. 59. Which provision of the fundamental rights is directly relates to the exploitation of children? A24. 60. What is the chief source of political power in India? The people. 61. Fundamental duties were added by which constitutional amendment? 42 Amendment. 62. In which year were the first general election held in India? 1951-52. 63. The only instance when the President of India exercised his power of veto. Indian Post Office Amendment Bill, 1986. 64. Who collects the house tax? Municipality Corporation. 65. Who is the chairman of National Integration Council? Prime Minister. 66. Which is the only union territory that has a high court of its own? Delhi. 67. Who can establish an interstate council? President. 68. First woman Speaker of Lok Sabha. Meera Kumar. 69. The first census was conducted in India at the time of which Governor General? Lord Mayo. 70. By whom is the contingency fund of the state operated? Governor. 71. Which of the following British Prime Ministers sent Cripps Mission to India? Winston Churchill. 72. The statewise allocation of seats in Lok Sabha is based on the 1971 census. Up to which year does the remain intact? 2026. 73. Which commission made the recommendations which formed the basis for the Punjab Reorganizations Act which created the states Punjab and Haryana? Shah Commission. 74. Where was the first municipal corporation set up in India? Madras. 75. Who was the first woman to become the Prime Minister of a country? Sirimavo Bhandarnaik. 76. The allocation of seats in present Lok Sabha is based on which census? 1971. 77. In the Indian Constitution the right to equality is granted by 5 articles. They are Article 16 to Article 20. 78. Who was regarded as the father of Indian economic reform? Manmohan Singh. 79. Who elects the member of Rajya Sabha? Elected members of Legislative Assembly. 80. In which year Rajya Sabha was established? 1952. 81. Who decides whether a bill is a money bill or not? Speaker of Lok Sabha. 82. Which state has the highest number of reserved seats for the scheduled tribes in the Lok Sabha? Madhya Pradesh. 83. The 8th schedule of Indian Constitution is related to recognized languages. 84. Who was longest serving Speaker of Lok Sabha? Balram Jhaka. 85. What is the quorum of Lok Sabha? 1/1/0th of members of Lok Sabha. 86. When Constitution was framed, how many schedules were there? 8. 87. Who was the chairman of Kendriya Hindi Samiti? Prime Minister. 88. Which part of the Constitution of India talks about the municipalities? Part IXA. 89. What is the source of we the people in the preamble? United Nations. 93. Who was the first Speaker of Lok Sabha? 90. Ambedkar had said the article should normally remain a dead letter and would be used only in the last resort. Article 356. 91. Which constitutional amendment banned the floor crossing in Parliament? 52 Amendment. 92. When the Vice President acts as President, whose salary does he draw? President. 94. Under which constitutional amendment provision for minimum age is 18 years for the Indian citizen was made to become eligible to vote? 61st Amendment 1989. 95. For how many months can the proclamation of emergency at the first instance be restricted? 6 months. 96. The President of India can nominate to how many members to Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha respectively? 12 in Rajya Sabha. 2 in Lok Sabha. 97. Who proposed the creation of a preamble before the drafting committee? Jawaharlal Lal Nehru. 98. Who said preamble is the keynote to the constitution? Ernest Barker. 99. The idea of a Constituent Assembly to form a Constitution of India was first mooted by whom? M. N. Roy in 1927. So, which country has the briefest constitution in the world? USA.